Today we're sharing the mindset and attitude that helped us get to financial independence and early retirement.
After many years of saving and investing, we were able to say goodbye to our corporate jobs decades ahead of the usual age.
Stay with us until the end of the video because we'll be sharing the one mindset that was most critical for achieving financial independence.
To everyone who's been following our channel, thanks for coming back for another episode. This week, we're coming to you from our latest destination, which is the beautiful city of Dubrovnik in Croatia. And we'll give you the whole story of our time here in a few weeks, so be sure to come back for that episode. If you are new around here, I'm Gillian.
And I'm Stephanie. We're a couple who retired early and have been traveling the world full-time ever since. If you're looking for how-tos for financial independence and early retirement, you can subscribe for a new video every week.
We recently shared all our best financial decisions, the ones that helped us get to where we are today. And that video and all the other videos we mentioned today will be linked below.
These were big decisions and small decisions, but what they all had in common is they had a lasting impact on our ability to grow our wealth. So whether it was graduating debt-free, not owning a home, taking responsibility for our own investments instead of using an advisor, all of these decisions made a real difference in our financial journey.
But those good decisions didn't come out of nowhere. Over the years, we have cultivated the mindset and attitude and outlook that have helped us make the right financial choices.
So today we're going to share the 7 mindsets that set the foundation for us to achieve financial independence and say goodbye to the corporate world. We're going to talk about making unconventional choices, frugality, working towards our goals, and lots more.
But first, our question for this episode. Do you feel that your attitude and outlook has made a difference to your financial journey? You can share a yes or no to let everyone know in the comments below.
The first mindset that put us in a good position to achieve financial independence was the willingness to make unconventional choices and not follow a script for our lives.
When we first entered adulthood, we both saw that there was a certain expected path to follow that included getting married, buying a home, having kids, and settling down.
Although we have ticked some of these boxes, we've also made unconventional choices that paved the way for the life that we have today.
For example, I joined the military at the age of 17 and eventually went to Canada's Royal Military College. A third of the students were women, so I felt I was in good company, but where my path differed is that I was the only woman in my year to be trained as an armored officer. This meant spending my summers training to command a troop of tanks. Now, facing the hot summers in full combat gear and being constantly assessed on my ability to lead troops was the hardest thing that I've ever done, and being the only woman had its own set of challenges. But I did get through it and ended up among the first women in Canada to finish the training. And I learned a lot about perseverance and hard work along the way.
Another unconventional choice that we made together was to uproot our lives and move to Singapore. We were both mid-career at the time and we had no friends and no professional contacts in Singapore.
In fact, when Stephanie brought up the idea, I could barely find Singapore on a map.
However, we knew that Singapore had a dynamic economy and that if we took the risk to relocate there, it could be really great for our careers. And it was, which we talked about in this video.
These are just a couple of examples of how we've decided to follow our own path. For us, choosing to retire early is just another unconventional life choice. Not everyone is willing to take the leap and step away at the peak of their careers.
The next mindset that has served us very well is the willingness to try to do it ourselves first, or DIY. And I'm going to admit that this one is really all Gillian.
Before deciding to go with a professional service, whether it relates to home maintenance, pet needs, or any other service that you can think of, I like to really understand what the issue is and see if I can solve it myself. Now, this attitude has helped me learn how to groom a dog, how to clear stubborn drains, landscape a garden, and lots more.
When we do need to use a professional service or make any major purchase, another mindset that has helped us save a lot of money is hunting for the best deal. And again, this is something that Gillian is particularly good at.
Whenever I need to buy a product or a service, I will get multiple quotes every time. And I don't just mean settling on the top 3 results in a Google search. I will typically go pretty deep into the searches, as well as forums or even Facebook groups, to come up with at least 4 or 5 vendors who are often overlooked but still have good reviews. By being super thorough in my searches, I can often save half or even more off the price of the vendor that ranks first in Google.
These last couple mindsets relate to being frugal, which has been extremely helpful on the path to early retirement. We have one more money-related topic, and then we're going to get into goal setting and experimenting. And then stay with us until the end because we'll be sharing that one mindset that was most critical for achieving financial independence.
Based on everything we've said so far, you can likely tell that we are fairly frugal. However, we are prepared to spend, and spend big when it's really important to us. And that's because we make our decisions based on the value that something brings to us, and not just the price tag attached.
This is the difference between impulse buying something on sale at the mall because it's such a great price versus buying something because of the value that it brings to our lives.
A recent example we can share relates to our travel gear. When we first started our full-time travels, we more or less set out with the things that we had on hand, plus some suitcases we bought secondhand. A couple of broken wheels later, our gear was in serious need of a refresh.
When we bought our new backpacks and suitcases, we didn't automatically look for the cheapest options. We looked for the products that were best suited for our needs. Because our gear gets a lot of heavy-duty use, we were comfortable to pay more for quality and also a 10-year warranty.
This is a mindset of making decisions based on value. It's helped us to be more selective in our purchases and really appreciate the products and experience that we do choose to buy.
Next up is being goal-oriented. I absolutely love setting goals and working towards them and tracking my progress. Now, tracking my goals and hitting my numbers was always a very big part of my professional life. So when we decided to aim for financial independence and early retirement and ramp up our savings, we applied that same discipline to our personal lives.
On our journey to retire early, we set goals for our spending, our savings, and our investing. And being really focused on achieving those goals helped ensure that we got there instead of just hoping that it would happen on its own.
We've also spent a lot of time experimenting to see if we can achieve any improvements in how we live. This was something we explored in a lot of depth when we were trying to be more frugal during our last couple years in Singapore.
We were willing to challenge and disrupt our own habits to see if we could do things in a different way that would ultimately be less expensive. The experiments led to small gains that added up to big savings in the long run, which we talk more about in this video.
Some of the experiments we tried were going without Netflix for a month, not eating in restaurants, going to a cheaper gym, baking our own bread, switching over to the e-library instead of buying books, and lots more.
Of course, one of the ways that we continue to experiment is by moving to a new country every couple of months. And if you want to see what our life in Dubrovnik has been like, tune in for our cost of living video coming out in a few weeks.
Out of all the mindsets we're talking about today, the one that has been the most critical to help us get to financial independence and retire early is delaying gratification. We put a lot of stock in the concept of giving up immediate rewards in favor of a larger, more significant reward later in life.
In pursuit of our financial independence, we've chosen to make a few sacrifices. We cut out our spending on things we really did enjoy, like meals out and vacations, but we were comfortable doing so because we knew the money would be better spent on our future life once we had retired.
Knowing that a 2-week vacation cost the same as a month or two of slow travel in the future really made those decisions a lot easier. Now, if you found this video helpful, we recommend watching this one next. It's all about the big decisions that helped us get to financial independence. You can go ahead and click on it now.
We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can hit that like button to let us know. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll be happy to see you back next week.